Hello, this build features content from a pack that I got for free through the EA Creator Network. And today's build is in Windenburg. It is for a shell challenge hosted by BB Moment on Instagram. I'll have a link to their Instagram and any of their other socials in my description, but it is a very small build, and I'm pretty sure they had the build on this lot in Windenburg, and I was like, you know what? I really love this lot. I haven't built in Windenburg in a little while. I've been building in mostly Ravenwood since the expansion came out, and so it was nice to build in a different world. And also just to build something small where I didn't really have to worry about the shape or anything. I just needed to download the shell from the gallery and landscape it and furnish it. Of course, do like the exterior stuff. But if you don't know what a shell challenge is, it's pretty much like someone will build a house like this, what you see. And the rules are pretty much just that you can't change the walls, you can't add walls to the build. I wasn't sure if I could move that like octagon piece that is off to the side. So I just kept it there. It ends up being an outhouse anyway because the build is so small. I found it hard to figure out the floor plan for it. It's only one bedroom, and I also ended up buying the like the artist painting kit, which I said a while ago that I didn't think that I was gonna get it, and then like time kept passing, and then I kept really wanting it, and when I got it, I was like, why did no one tell me like how beautiful the wallpaper is that comes in the pack? It's not really wallpaper, it's like this wood paneling, but when I had seen it, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I didn't realize that that was in the pack. I didn't really watch any, like, overviews for the kit or anything. I just saw, like, the painting clutter and stuff, and I was like, "I don't really know if I need that because like, we have, like, base game painting clutter, but it has a lot of really nice items in it." So I decided to buy it like right before I was doing the furnishing for this house. So you'll get to see me use some of that. I like the sketchbook clutter that's in it and stuff. And if there's ever like a pack that you decide that you want when you're watching one of my builds, I now have a Sims creator code that you can use at checkout. It's not a discount code or anything. It's a creator code, which means that like when you enter it, the creator gets a small percentage of the sale of the pack, and it's for Sims packs on the EA app. So if you would like to support me, I'm sure the code will be up on the screen, but it's also in my description. But now I was doing the roofing of this build, and I end up really liking how this build came out. It like the roof just came along very like quickly and naturally. I used like slightly different angles for the rounded roof pieces than usual, and I really like how it turned out. It feels like a nice quaint cottage, and I love this lot. I love it in the snow as well. I decorated for Christmas. This isn't a like Christmas shell challenge. I don't even know if it's a winter shell challenge. I think it's due in February. I could be wrong. It could be due in January, but I think it might be due in February. I thought it was still okay if I did, the build and I, like, put some garland and stuff around. There's no Christmas tree, I don't think. Did I put one outside? We'll have to see. I, edited this, like, last week, and then I haven't really touched it since. I was gonna do the voiceover during the week, but then I was a little bit busy, and I just, like, didn't have the energy to do a voiceover. I've also been spending a lot of time, like, cleaning up, um, and, like, I got my little Christmas tree out that's, like, in my room now. It's, like, one of the little tiny ones, um, and so I was cleaning my room a lot this weekend, which, like, made my energy levels just, like, plummet. Like I did a like Sims 2 building stream over the weekend, and even that was too much. I had to end pretty early and like I felt so bad, and then I felt like I was like I felt like I came across as, like, really, like, weird and not like myself. I didn't feel like myself, but then I asked my friend and, like, she's like, "No, you seemed normal." So at least I seem normal, but, like, when I get in my head like that, it just feels like I just, like, am a completely different person, and then I get worried that, like, people are gonna think that I hate them because I feel like my tone might not be, like, what it usually is, and, like, it's this whole thing, but, I took it easy this week, and so now I'm doing the voiceover now, which is why I, like, feel like I don't really, like, know what is in the build because I haven't looked at this video since I edited it. I can't even like, every time I say edited it, I struggle saying that. I do really enjoy the, like, exterior walls that I chose. I think the brick one might be Discover University, which I never use, and I'd seen and I was like, "I really like the detailing at the top of it." And I was like, "You know what? I could use this out here. I think it can work." And so I made the half timber parts a gray wood instead of the warm brown to, like, accent or, like, complement like, gray brick and, like, the gray detailing on that. But I think my favorite part of this build is the roofing. I don't think I would have come up with a shape like this myself. I really, really love, doing people's shell challenges, and like, every time I do a shell challenge, I'm like, "This is one of my favorite builds I've ever done," and it's like, "Yeah, because you didn't come up with this shape." Because, like, I don't like, I would never think to have, those, like, the little mini tower, and then directly next to it is one above it. I just, like, I wouldn't think to do that, and it came out so nice. And, like, usually for, like, the doorway accents too, I never do, like, just, like, a 2 tile, like, stick out piece. I always do at least, like, 3, but I really like how it looks with just, like, 2. It makes it feel very cozy and quaint. And I was gonna say I was using those life and death windows. I feel like those windows would've looked really nice, with this sort of roof as well, but I thought they were a little bit too, like, large, and so I just went with cottage living ones. And I think back here I end up using, not those windows, but a very large window in the back, and then I end up making, like, a little smiley face out of, wreaths and garland, and it, like, feels a little bit creepy, but, like, when I was doing it, it, like, unintentionally looked like a face, and so I was like, "You know what? I'll just play into this, and I'll add eyebrows to it as well." So it looks a little, like, freaky to me, but I guess you'll see it in a little bit. Another thing I really liked about the exterior was the landscape that I picked out because it's, like, very light, compared to my usual landscapes where I usually have, like, very, like, foresty green colors, but this one is, like, a little bit paler and it looks so much more frosty. Even, like, just the rocks as well, which I believe are Batu rocks. Sometimes I try and avoid using Batu because I know that a lot of people don't really have it, but Batu is like I really like the pack. I think that it's not like one of my favorite packs as it used to be since like new packs came out and we've gotten like a lot of different items and stuff, but Batu does have like really beautiful stuff for exteriors and things like that. And you could see the weird smiley face that like creeps me out. But I felt like I was like, you know what? It looks like that, so let's just play into it. So sorry, moment, if that scares you when you're like looking at the builds. And like, I didn't, like, see any pack restrictions for it, but I could have, like, misread or, like, missed something in their rules. I didn't limit any of my packs when I was doing this, so hopefully it's okay. Um, if not, I guess, like, at least there's pictures to be seen and a video to see every part of it because, um, yeah, I didn't see if there were pack restrictions or not, and so I kinda just went with this. And I don't even know which pack are these bushes from? Is that Island Living? I'm trying like, yeah, I think so, right? Yeah, it looks like Island Living. I barely use that pack as well. So, I think, like, it's just, like because it's snow on the ground, all the items look a little bit different, and so I'm, like, using things that I normally wouldn't gravitate towards, and I don't really know what this build would look like in the spring. I'm sure it would look fine in the spring, and I'm using these, like, is that orange? Yeah. I feel like I'm struggling to see the flowers, but I think that they're orangey flowers, and I believe that they're from Life and Death. I could be wrong, but I remember we just recently got flowers that look like that, so I'm assuming that's what the pack is from, or the what pack it's from. And there was, like, the little bush that's just the branches, which I also know is from Life and Death, that I have, like, thrown off to the side there. And more of, like, these lighter, more like, I wanna say pastel green, but I don't even know if that's the right way to say it, but a lot softer and, like, brighter green than what I usually do in the landscape, and so I, like, was looking for that when I was going through all of the, like, live edit objects. And I'm sure if you've seen a lot of my other speed builds, you've seen me do these, like, fake stairs pretty often, but it's pretty simple to do as long as you, like, kind of understand the terrain tools a little bit, which at, like, first when you're learning terrain tools, they seem very difficult to use, and it's kind of, like, hard to get the sloping right. But if you're not good at the terrain tool, like, honestly, just keep practicing because I used to be so bad at it, and now I can at least do it, like, decently quick, I feel. Like, my builds don't take me very long to build, so I feel like it probably, like, takes me a pretty short amount of time. Um, Hard to judge because the build is sped up, like, I speed up my builds, like, 2.9, if that means anything. I started listing that in my description just in case, because when I was starting out doing speed builds, they were a little bit too fast because I really didn't know what speed builds had to be. And so I was like, oh, probably like the faster the better. And I've over time like experimented with slowing it down. And I feel like this is like the more like enjoyable speed, I think, for at least me. I think that it's, like, slow enough to get all the details in, and also it won't make anybody sick or nauseous, and, like, I feel like it works out, which is also why my builds have gotten, like, longer over time. Also the fact that I've just been making larger, like, builds recently. Um, but I think it's okay. I know that, like, there are quite a few people who like longer videos. They like to, like, have them on when they're, like, going to sleep or something, and so that definitely helps me to feel more confident when I'm posting a video that is a bit longer. This one is, like, pretty short today. I mean, it's, like, 20 minutes. It's not, like, really short, but it is, like, half the length of my usual videos have been in the last, like, half a year or so, or even maybe a year. I don't know. But if you like the long videos, next week I'll have a winter market builds video that is going to be very long. I'm still not even done with it, like building it or editing it. So if it's not out on Monday, I'll post in the community tab, like probably next weekend if I'm going to post it a little bit late. I do want it up before Christmas because it is like a Christmas themed build. So I want to have it up at least before then or on Christmas. Um, so if it's not up Monday, it'll definitely be up next week at some point. It's just like a huge build though, and so it's gonna take me a lot of time. And I accidentally just like didn't work on any of my Sims stuff for like at least a week. I don't even know what I've been doing. Oh, well, cleaning and playing Dead by Daylight. And the cleaning just takes so much of my energy. And then I'm like, wow, now I want to just play Dead by Daylight all night. And then I end up doing that, and then I don't do any of my Sims builds, but I am excited to continue working on it. And last night I really wanted to start some new builds, and I had to stop myself because I was like, if you start more builds, you're not going to want to finish the ones that you have right now. So don't start any builds. And so I didn't start anything, but I have like all these build ideas in my head that I want to start building. But I want to at least make some more progress on next week's video before I start anything. Because I also just want to get through my backlog of editing before the end of the year too, so that I could kind of go into the new year with like all like fresh new builds instead of like, oh, I have to do this and I wanted to do this and I have this recorded, so I want to finish it. And so I want to try and like get all of that done before then. This is literally, it doesn't matter, but to me it would make me feel a little bit better and like less like scattered and like that my brain feels a little bit less cluttered, if that makes sense. I've once again kind of like talked over a lot of what I'm doing for the interior, and I didn't want to like at least talk about why I decided to change out all the cabinets, because like I put all these cabinets and then I was like, no, I hate this, changing it. It was because I felt like it looked so busy, and it was because there was a lot of like metallic hardware on the cabinets, which I felt like was all I could see when I was looking at it. And so I changed it to like mix in some other cabinets, and then I liked it a lot better. And like, yeah, you could see the outhouses over there, because I was like, yeah, I can't fit a bathroom in here even if I tried. So good thing that Momin has a little tower out there that I could make the outhouse. And yeah, here is where I was going through the new kit that I bought, which is like that painting kit. And I used the walls pretty much throughout the entire build, I think. I really like the like wooden wall that came with it. And that plant is really pretty too, with the petals like on the table. Yeah, I like really didn't look too much into this kit when it came out, but I really like it. And I remember saying that I was like, no, I don't want it. And like another kit came out at the same time as it that I bought, and so maybe I just like wanted to limit the packs that I was buying, and I didn't want to buy anything if I was just like gonna like one or two items in it. But surprisingly, like I was like, wow, this is definitely worth my money now, because I'm gonna probably use all of these items pretty often, and it pairs really nicely with some of the other items like the life and death, like what is that called? Like the timer thing that has the sand in it, where you like turn it over and like the sand pours down. I don't know what the word is for that, but I love that item, and I think it looks really nice next to the new plant that I got, and just like a mug that has um some like coffee dripping down the side, which I think looks really cute and makes it look a little bit lived in. I almost forgot a sink again. um Always forgetting a kitchen sink apparently in like all of my builds, and then I have to remember to just add it in later on. The, like, lighting in the build, it feels a little bit dark, but I thought it, like, I don't know, I liked how it looked, though. It made it feel very cozy, and so I was using lights that I never really use. I don't even know what pack those lights are from. They could be maybe from one of the new packs, and I spent, like, some time trying to, like, put these 2 rugs together, because I was sold on the idea of doing something different, and I was like, I've never used a blue rug like this before, but I need it to like be a little bit bigger. And so I like spent some time just putting the 2 rugs together, and then by the end of it I was like, do I actually like this rug? And I was like, well, you know what, I've spent so much time trying to make it work that I'm just going to accept it and move on. I still think it maybe is a little bit too long, and I should have like brought it in a little bit more, but that's okay. That's just me being like picky for no reason at all, because it really doesn't matter. And I could see that the video is like almost done, and I feel like I feel like it's been so long since I've like kind of like talked to you guys. And so I was like, I'm like, I feel like it's like a little catch up, even though I had like my like build with me style video last week that was like 3 hours. I haven't done like a voiceover for a speed build in a couple weeks, so I feel like I haven't like talked in this way in a while. And so I'm like and I'm like, now I feel bad because the video feels so short, and it's like, but is 20 minutes short? I don't think so. But the build itself, like, I really couldn't have done more. I guess I could have put some more clutter in. I just didn't want to. I felt like it was enough, and like the clutter would have been on shelves that I would have had to, like, raise up using, like, 9, or is it 9? I don't remember. But I would have had to, like, raise up all of the objects with, like, move objects on and things like that, and I'm like, "You know what? It's fine just this way." I can't really put anything else on the floor because the build is so tiny, and I think it would make it not functional. I don't think I play tested this fully. I know that, like, I had The Sims Light the Fireplace for my, like, intro video, but I believe everything should be, um, functional. I don't think that there is anything, like, in the way of other areas of the house. It should be all okay. Like, the easel, I don't think I put anything too close to it that would make it not functional, but if you download it, I'm sorry if some of the objects need to be moved around, but it should be a quick fix. The only annoying parts of my build set is if it's not functional and you can't figure it out, and like it's like some random objects on the exterior, that's kind of annoying. But I got good at judging if that's gonna happen, because now I kind of understand the, like, boxes of the items and like the grid and what causes that issue and what won't. So this one I'm pretty sure doesn't have any objects like that on here. I think it would have been more of an issue even when I was just lighting the fireplace if that was the case. Another thing before I forget is that since this is a shell challenge entry, other people will have done this shell as well. I don't know the exact hashtag, like, off the top of my head, for the entries, but I'll have that in my description too. So if you want to see what other people did with the shell, like, you can look it up on the gallery too. I know my friend Sash did one for this, which is what reminded me that I wanted to do the shell challenge because she had posted hers. I was like, oh yeah, I wanted to do the shell challenge because it looked like the perfect size to do as like a build while I was not really in the mood for editing something long. And this was like the perfect, like, I guess, like, filler video between some of my, like, larger ones that I've been doing, which was nice and very, like, well needed. And even though this is just one bedroom, I think the bedroom is like a really nice size. I wish that I could have had the bed not against a wall because in gameplay, that is something that bothers me personally, is if I have two Sims living in a house and the other Sim can't just get into the bed from the other side. Um, I don't like that, but I've been just like being more forgiving about that in my builds, especially lately. And so I'm like, if the bed has to be against the wall, it has to be against the wall. Maybe this is actually just for one sim, and they just have their large bed over here, and it's just one sim living here anyway. And I picked out some, like, crafty type of clutter, like, there's the cross stitch area, and then I'm using some of the stuff from the new painting kit, but yeah, I used the walls, like, in every part of this build. Every time I looked at these walls, I was like, "Why did nobody tell me that I would love this, like, wooden wall that came in the kit?" I just had a dog knocking on my door, and I thought it was my dog, but then I opened it because I felt bad because I was like, "I'm hearing this scratching for a while," and it was, like, my brother's dog coming to say hi, because he, like, hangs out here on the weekends, the dog, and I was so surprised, I was like, "Oh my god." It's like, "You're the last dog I expected to be standing there because I completely forgot, but you could, like, kind of hear the scratching. At least I kind of heard it. It was, like, very quiet though, so you probably didn't really notice it. But for the rest of the bedroom, I just put a bunch of books up here. Because I was like, "You know what? There's a lot of space above this window. I could just put a bunch of books there and it should be okay." And, like, they won't look like they're floating either. I know that sometimes when I put those books raised up on a shelf, they'll float. It just if they're in, like, an interior wall that collapses when you're like looking at it in like the 3/4 or like I don't even know what option that is called, but the one where the walls are like half down, I guess that's what it's called. The books will be floating, but because it's on an exterior wall, it'll never be a problem, which is sometimes something that I need to think about when I'm placing those books around. And then the tower, I just did a little storage tower because I really didn't know what else to put in this build. Um, I was looking at those, like, art pieces that came in the kit, and I sorted by the kit too, because 'cause I'm like, "I'm just gonna use a bunch of this because I just bought this and it's new stuff for me at least," even though I think the kit's been out for, a little while now, but it's brand new for me because I just bought it, and these are all of the screenshots. There's not too many because it is a pretty small build, but I feel like it's just, like, a cute little wintry, cozy build for an artist or a painter. But that's the whole video. Thank you so much for watching. I feel like such an abrupt ending. I'm sorry. That felt so weird. I'm not used to doing this. But yeah, I'll see you all next week. Bye.